In this epic tale, La, a healer labeled as talentless and useless, yet blessed with striking good looks, draws curious eyes. As he recruits for his adventurer team, a bold question stuns the crowd. Who would team up with someone like him? Shocked, La confirms, but the young woman, Nena, stands firm, insisting on joining and introducing herself. "I'm Nena, a fighter by trade," she declares. La reveals he's a temporary healer. Suddenly, a woman intervenes. It's Huss, a staff member from the Mart Adventurers Guild branch. Everyone knows her face, so she steps in to stop Nena. "Do you even know who he is?" Huss warns. Unaware, Nena learns the truth about La. He's called a worthless healer, only capable of basic recovery spells that even children could master. For a healer unable to use advanced recovery, the label fits. He can't fight and offers little use. Once, La joined the Thunder Sword team but got kicked out swiftly. Now, the townsfolk mock him as unskilled and broke, with no stable work. Huss urges Nena not to team with La, fearing disaster. But Nena has wealth, so she shrugs it off. Huss warns her not to flaunt it, as not all adventurers here are trustworthy. Nena, eager to learn, presses on. "Thank you for your kindness," Nena says. She's new to adventuring and knows nothing. Huss offers to introduce her to a better team for a fee, but Nena refuses, having already decided to join La. This choice wasn't impulsive, it's been her dream. Shocked, Huss proceeds with the paperwork anyway. They sign the team formation document and submit it to the guild for task access. It ensures fair reward sharing and guild mediation if conflicts arise. While La handles the process, Nena gazes at him, whispering, "At last, I found you again." Finished, Huss demands her processing fee, ever the opportunist. Huss is just greedy, though it shouldn't cost anything. Nena is thrilled they're a team now, and she calls La her brother, leaving him confused but warmed by her friendliness. Together, they set off for the Mart dungeon, where no one has reached the deepest level and the boss beast remains a mystery. This chance draws adventurers in droves, turning the nearby city into a thriving hub. Nena, inexperienced, relies entirely on La for guidance. She asks if jumping straight into the dungeon is safe, recalling Huss's warning about dangers for newcomers. La suggests starting in the Western Plains for beginners instead. He explains that magic leaks from the dungeon spawn beasts nearby, making the Western Plains an easy hunt spot. The guild calls it a newbie zone, but La knows it's vast and sparse on beasts, leading to fights among rookies. Heading to the dungeon's early levels is smarter beasts are plentiful there, as long as they avoid the depths. With Nena's skills, La is confident they'll manage. She trusts him completely. They press on. At the entrance, as a fighter, Nena insists on leading to shield La the healer. He's hiding his true strength but appreciates her spirit and follows. It's her first time, and she's excited. La wonders about her soldier-like poise. She's powerful. Facing goblins, Nena unleashes her elite combat skills. Though new, her rigorous training makes short work of them. She strikes a pose, asking if La thinks she's awesome. He praises her lavishly, amazed that her power exceeds his expectations. Defeated beasts vanish, leaving magic stones that the guild buys for coin. These from weak foes aren't worth much. Nena wonders what the guild does with them. La explains they hold magic energy with endless uses, but detailing it now would take all day. She'll learn later. Nena isn't great with theory, so she's a bit clueless. With a few stones from these foes, they can cover daily expenses. La suggests delving deeper for stronger beasts. Nena agrees eagerly, promising to protect him if things go wrong. They head to the second level, where she nearly triggers a trap. La spots it in time and activates the trap stone, leaving Nena stunned. She asks how he knew. He says it's about reading the stone's colors. A rookie mistake could be fatal. Gaining experience, Nena is thrilled but puzzled. How does a healer like him detect traps like a thief? La brushes it off, claiming years as an adventurer taught him tricks. She doesn't doubt him and continues exploring. Suddenly, they spot an orc far too strong for this level. It's a bad sign, but thankfully no newcomers are around to suffer. Orcs are mid-tier demons, tough and powerful. Its presence here spells trouble. Nena suggests retreating, but La insists they can take it together. She trusts him blindly, ready to fight despite his healer's role. "If you say so, I'll give it my all," she says. They plan their attack. La has her lure it first. Nena charges in confidently, using pure fighter strength, but the orc's hide is like stone. Her blows land, yet it's tough. A rock shard hits her, pushing her back. Disaster looms until La finishes it effortlessly. He's hiding his power, but Nena, eyes closed in fear, misses his heroic strike. It reminds her of the brave savior from her past, La himself, the reason she joined him despite the gossip. He checks if she's hurt, offering to heal her. Nena teases, "What kind of healer are you?" but he's modest, saying, "I've been an adventurer long enough to have some self-defense." She doesn't press, letting him treat her minor wounds. They're simple enough for his skills. Nina is overjoyed. The orc drops a rare purple stone worth more than the goblins. La asks what's next. With her skills proven, they could head back, but Nina wants more adventure. He indulges her, continuing the hunt. By evening, they return with a haul that stuns Huss. Half a day and this many beasts. Impressive, especially the orc stone. Huss scolds La for ignoring the newbie zone and diving into the dungeon, thinking they went deep, but La claims the orc came up. Nina backs him up. Huss mentions recent oddities, advising caution. With their stones sold, they earn well, and Huss gets a cut, keeping her happy. Guild staff earn bonuses from buying stones. Huss networks with newcomers like Nina to boost her sales. She encourages Nina to keep hunting for mutual gains. "Keep earning and we'll all profit," Huss says. Nina is shocked at their earnings far more than La's past. Huss explains he was exploited before. Teaming with Nina changes that. Too late for regrets. Nina feels for La. Outraged, she wants Huss to intervene, but La refuses, focused on their new team. Elsewhere, the Thundersword leader asks about La's new ally. It's Nenna who chose him. They head to their usual spot for a meal. The server knows La well. She mentions the rumors. The worthless La has snagged a gem like Nenna. Unbothered, La arranges rooms, but Nina wants to share. He's against it, disappointing her slightly, yet she's glad to be together. It's because that girl volunteered to form a team, so the pair heads to their usual spot for a meal. The waitress knows them well. The little one talks about the new member in their team, with rumors flying that the useless La found a sweet, fresh teammate. He doesn't care, asking her to book a room for two. Surprisingly, Nina wants to share a room with men, but he says no. No, this makes her a bit sad, but being together is enough joy. In the room, she recalls the past when she was tiny. Back then, La healed her wounds just like today. So, she promises herself that when she grows up, she'll become an adventurer and team up with him. That promise is now reality, though La remembers nothing. Though La doesn't remember from that fateful meeting, Nina trained hard. So, hearing men was kicked out, she signed up right away. Back then, her hair color was different, so she thinks he hasn't recognized her as that little girl. The saddest part is La's so strong he doesn't need protection, making her lose confidence in her promise to help him, yet the one saved was me. She gathers her strength to face a brighter future, but it's baffling how people call someone as amazing as Min useless. In his dreams, La recalls why he's seen as a failure. Back then, with the Godsword team, they challenged a massive monster. The others were strong, but not enough against that beast. And men. The beast let them escape, but they ousted La, shocking the guild. The sword wielder slandered him viciously. The sword user spits bitter words, turning men into the villain. With the girl beside him fuming, blaming the healer for not curing the poison, which made everyone see it negatively. La argues back, pointing out those two were playing around, lacking flexibility in battle. The team has 4 members, 2 criticizing men, leaving the sister to decide. Who was right or wrong in that mess? She feared the sword user, and ended up pointing fingers at La, getting him kicked out. Remembering this, he can't sleep a wink. That first shock has haunted him. After leaving the team as a useless outcast, men joined another group even worse than the first. To defeat those tricky monsters, the healer like him was used as bait. Realizing he was just a tool, La fought to survive and succeeded. The wicked ones paid for their actions. Witnessing his comrades' tragic deaths, he still chased his dream of being a true adventurer. Returning in solitude, he felt utter despair. Though badly wounded, But what hurts men most is not being recognized despite his efforts. That evening, he stumbles upon a carriage attacked by monsters with a surviving girl inside. Though he can't fight, he risks his life to save her. Even now, La doesn't know why he did it. By night, her escort arrives, and Men is seen as a hero in her eyes. La thinks the real savior wasn't a useless guy like him, but those nights. Still, she's grateful he showed up when needed. She says thanks to Men, the knights arrived in time, and he looked so cool, lifting his spirits. Seeing her injured, La uses basic healing to fix her. When thanked, he doesn't dare take credit because he can only do this much. Sharing his story, the blonde one is deeply moved. Who uses living people as monster bait? She cries for Men's harsh fate. From here, a promise is born. When she grows up, she'll become an adventurer to protect him. Those words bring LaJoy again. At least, there are still. Fate turned, he grew strong, walking his own path. Now, her vow brings good fortune, reuniting him with a loyal partner like Nina. So strong, and now La stands on his own path, no longer relying on anyone. Up to this point, Good things are coming to the young man because of the blonde one's old promise. He's never given up on his adventurer dream, and that's how he met an amazing teammate like Nena. He's truly grateful, not realizing she's the little sister from back then. He saved is the adorable sister he has now, and that old promise is what Nina's fulfilling. Just then, she knocks to start the day right. Checking, he gets invited for breakfast, saying how can they quest on an empty stomach? Perhaps a new door opens for him. After eating, they head to the labyrinth, planning to go deeper today since Nina's skills are solid. It's solid, so she has no complaints, following her senior to the teleport area. Apparently the labyrinth has many like this. The arrays here are incredibly powerful and ancient. They connect most labyrinth levels, created by human mages to ease exploration. Nina wonders if that person could. Why not link the teleportation array in the labyrinth to the towns for easier travel? She wonders if they're afraid monsters could use it to escape. La explains that monsters can't use this array. It's a lost technique from hundreds of years ago. Plus, it's too hard to create, so they don't build it in other areas. Exactly. They teleport to a red zone, looking dangerous. The atmosphere turns dim, worrying her. From here, it's the middle level, so monsters are much stronger. La's been through it, so he's confident, and knows they're fast. They clash and take them down, but one with a special body can't be hit, Men explains. He distracts it while she charges energy. Luckily, it doesn't attack immediately. She explains gathering prana by channeling inner energy. Her years of training let her strike ethereal foes. Her prana-coated fist dispatches it, yielding a large stone, but it wounds her with corruption, like a burn treatable with tools. In a non-physical form, it's the right of a fighter who's trained hard for years. She fully controls this power. Her prana-wrapped fist pierces through, making the monster vanish. This nets them a large magic stone. However, Nina gets slightly injured from first touching the evil spirit, getting tainted. Luckily, the damage is like a burn, so only. With tool support, it can heal. La says for weak guys like him, this is essential. It's a magic tool that boosts healing effects. The main ingredient is magic stones from the labyrinth. They buy energy stones from adventurers through the guild, then craftsmen turn them into magic items and sell them back. Nina's wound heals, surprising her. Done, the pair heads back with their big prize. As promised, they sell the magic stone to Huss, delighting her. Getting extra cash, she wishes them success in everything. That night, everyone's happy with the high sale. With their earnings, La treats Nena to a feast. The owner jokes if he can afford it, given his usual orders. He assures her he's flush now and orders a beer, advising Nina against it, she's too young, as the server teases. They enjoy the lively night scene, a far cry from the daytime rush. Nina spots white towers around the city, mysterious and windowless, seen in other places too. He orders another beer to cool off, assuring the owner he's earned money lately. Nina wants to try it too, but the waitress calls her a kid and refuses to serve. La agrees she shouldn't drink, making her grumpy about being underestimated. They enjoy the lively night atmosphere. By day, it's not as vibrant since everyone's working. Gazing into the distance. Far away, the group is curious about the white towers around the city. This architecture is unlike anything they've seen. If it's a house, it should have windows, but it has none. And it's not just here. Nina has spotted them in other places too. Everything about them is a mystery. Even Men has never heard any details before. When they ask, people just built on orders. Even the builders don't know what they're making. Naturally, the one who ordered it is a mystery. This person hired agents, who hired more, and so on. The true designer hid their identity. It never harms the people, so everyone just ignores it. For La, instead of building that, they'd be better with city walls. The whole place is smooth, so an attack would leave them defenseless. Nina thinks with so many adventurers here, no faction would dare strike. Later, in the room, she wants to say something but stops. She blames herself for not sharing the past yet. He saved her and she wants to share a room. For La, it's a joy to have such an amazing team. Switching scenes to Men's old teammates, still recruiting to conquer the Hydra. This time, the sword user invites a beautiful healer, unsure if it's wise. Already the girls look bored. Meanwhile, some force in town talks about Nena, the sleeping princess playing adventurer with La. They are desperate to drive Men away at all costs to execute their sinister scheme. Now, the Godsword Inazuma team reaches the Hydra, spotting its head still unhealed from the previous battle. This is their chance, so Magel calls on his friend, the healer Lyra, to fight alongside him. Amiya uses magic to support, while Sabia sneaks from behind for a surprise attack. She finds it absurd that a healer like Lyra would charge into the front lines. They've always seen La fight normally, so they thought healers were like that. But when she hears Magul wants an old team member, with the same role to battle monsters together, she's furious. No healer in the world fights on the front lines, so she sets them straight. The blonde guy dismisses it, saying men only runs around but lands a hit now and then. That severed head over there was Lars doing, not anyone else's. Yet, these fools think they're strong enough to fight. Lyra can only heal, not fight. Of course, she can cure poison, so Magul is confident since that's the Hydra's main strength. Cutting to the other pair, they've gathered plenty of magic stones today. Huss knows they went to the middle level for hunting and worries a bit, but with stones like this, it's great. Nina assures La treats her well, not exploiting her, so they carefully pick fights. So, relax. Even so, she reminds them that everyone has limits. So, don't push beyond yours to avoid unnecessary dangers. She advises recruiting more members to make monster hunting easier. Truly, with a warrior or mage in the team, they could handle dangerous beasts better. But for now, Men hasn't thought about adding anyone. Thundersword had one, but Lars slept in the stables. The girls sympathize, and Huss sees his expulsion as a blessing given their mess. If couples are in love, they should have their own home, away from prying eyes during intimate moments. Also, in an inn, storing gear and money is limited. Who keeps big cash there, risking theft? But the best part, to Huss, is that buying a house warms relationships. This excites Nina, thinking she must rent one to live with her brother. Sabia suggests rehiring him, but Magul, despite resentment, considers it for the team's sake, overestimating their fame. Over here, the group returns barely alive, wondering why they lost worse than before. Lyra bluntly says they're too weak for that creature. Surviving is a win. But from this, she realizes the old member was the peak. Thanks to men, everyone stayed safe. Sadly, they don't see that and think they're skilled. Sabia senses something's off and advises recruiting La back for support. Magul hates men's preachy ways, but for the team's sake, he decides to invite him tomorrow. When asked how, he delusionally thinks Godsword Inazuma is so famous that no one would refuse. This leaves the others speechless. The next morning, Amiya wakes up healed and thanks Lyra for the treatment. As she looks for food, she notices the other two are gone. They're at the guild, inviting La to join again. Hearing this, everyone is shocked. Just then, Nina arrives, and the sister tells her that guy's the one who bullied men. How shameless can he be to say such things? La hesitates, unsure how to refuse without hurting feelings. The guy assumes it's about the reward, so he agrees to raise pay, criticizing the current healer as useless, unlike versatile men. Saya listens, at a loss for the fool's words. Just then. So, they agree to raise the pay, criticizing the current healer in the team as useless, unlike the versatile men. Saya stands by, speechless at the fool's nonsense. Then, Nina rushes in to defend her brother from these fake good Samaritans. She declares La won't return to their worthless team. Besides, Men is a precious teammate to her, so she won't let him go. The guy tries to bully her because she's small, but La steps in to stop it. Thanking him for the invitation, whether sincere or not, La says he's already with his own team. Now, with this new team and cute sister, he declines. This makes Magul furious, blaming Nina for using him. While he's terrible, he attacks her. Realizing La isn't useless as the rumors he spread, he thinks the money wasn't shared fairly. Though not advising men to wake up, don't trust this girl and that greedy sister over there. Amiya explains her fear drove her decisions. La forgives but won't return. They share a meal, and Nina ponders freeing Amiya from that team. After that, the blonde one stays silent in fear. The couple leaves, mocking the arrogant fool and driving him mad with rage. With no other option, he runs to his sister for help in finding a stronger new member. This time, he wants a warrior like himself for the front lines. They must destroy the Hydra no matter what. Hearing this story, suddenly, a powerful adventurer arrives, wanting to join. He wears a mask, hiding his true identity. Magul doesn't care, testing his skills first. The result? Charging with all might, he's disarmed easily. Witnesses are amazed by the mysterious one's talent and strength. And the guy gets humiliated again for just talking big. He's so embarrassed, claiming he held back and didn't fight for real. Sabia advises against recruiting him because he's too mysterious. But since he's strong, Gulu still invites him. With no way out, because rumors of Godsword Inazuma's failed Hydra hunts are. It spreads. This way, he'll lose all face, so it's the best option. Asking the brother his name, they learn it's C, but just a fake one. The next morning, as Nina changes, she hears a knock next door and goes to check. Sai wants to tell men they have visitors, and even a cute sister is with them. Thinking it involves them, she meets Lyra and Amiya to see what's up. After the trouble. Strong as that, changing the tide to keep teammates safe. If La hadn't severed the Hydra's head back then, they might all be gone. Now, with it unhealed, she thinks he could win. Nina wonders why Amiya stays in a team that treats her badly and begs for Mulus's help. Amiya admits the guy. La, Nena, and C arrive to turn the tide, saving Amiya and facing the beast. La's unique healing stuns Lyra. In the climax, he taps into a hidden power, defeating Hydra spectacularly. He has so many flaws, it's endless, but he's still a teammate. Hearing this, Nina gets angry, thinking she owed that guy something, but it's just this reason that brings her here to drag her kind brother back into that mess again. She asks what La is to her that she'd kick him out. Amiya must know Men was treated like a dog in that team, yet she still boldly begs for help. She excuses herself, saying she's terrified, because if she didn't vote to kick Men out, she might be next. She's new as an adventurer with little experience, fearing no team would take her, so she ignored Mulus's dirty deeds. Seeing her cry, Nina stays quiet, letting her brother make the final call. If he wants to help, she'll go along to protect him. Lyra also speaks up for her. That girl, in her dazed state, kept apologizing to Men for her own actions. As an outsider, she truly understands how La feels when treated that way. She only hopes the young man accepts the apology, without expecting anything more. Her kind nature forced Min to step in and forgive, whispering softly, "You don't need to cry, for I hold no grudge against any of our old teammates. So, let the past remain in the past. Just let it go." This made Amiya feel deeply grateful. Still, returning to the divine sword Inazuma is impossible, and she's already told Magul. At that moment, the innkeeper brought out delicious food to ease the tension. Amiya was quite sad, but the meal served as a small comfort. Afterward, Nina wondered if there's any way to pull that girl out of their troublesome old team. As for Lyra, well, if it were possible, they wouldn't have come here in the first place. Suddenly, Laus recalled Mulus's mocking words about his sister-like mentor, so he warned her to be careful, or she might end up as the victim, just like him. This girl holds Amiya dear, so she has to stay, fearing that one day that guy might put her life in danger and then she could still save her. Back home, she was shocked to realize the guy Magul brought back was someone familiar. Once the others left, she whispered to Sai, asking what the heck he was doing here. He pretended not to know her. As a result, he got chewed out badly. Lyra thought he must be on some mission, which is why he showed up in this guise. But he stayed silent, leading her to call him out for using Ronaldo's sword. Thinking her friend had stolen it, Sai claimed he inherited it from his master, not stolen at all. After this slip-up, everything became clear, but Lyra decided not to press further and let him do as he pleased. The scene shifts to Nina, now farming monsters in the labyrinth with La. With their current fighting skills, taking down these fearsome beasts is a breeze. That little sister has improved so quickly, now handling 3 at once. Men thought about taking a break to rest, but Nena didn't need it. That was just a warm-up, nothing serious. If anything, she's just a bit hungry, not tired. They pulled out some food. Surprisingly, Nina bought a lot, because the day before, Amiya barely ate, so the innkeeper asked her to handle it. It was half sold, half given, so it was cheap. As they ate, Men shared with his junior about Hydra, a truly special monster, covered in tough scales and powerful muscles. If your physical attacks or magic aren't strong enough, they won't make a dent. It can't die as long as one head remains, making it nearly impossible to defeat for average adventurers. Hearing this, Nina grew even more worried for that little sister. This beast doesn't just attack basics, it spits poison too, which is a real threat. So, people developed antidotes. You can buy them anywhere, but they're expensive, so teams like Divine Sword often seek healers who can cure poison. It's not as effective as the antidote, but it still works. La also thinks those guys will be fine, since Divine Sword Inazuma has real potential. Magul might look reckless, but his sword skills are top-notch. As long as he stays focused and doesn't underestimate foes, he's strong. Sabia is the same, with speed and agility at the top. Even with Hydra's many heads, it can't outmatch her. Hearing him praise them so much, Nina shows a hint of jealousy. He insists he's just stating facts, not exaggerating. Later, she wants to explore elsewhere, since fighting monsters here every day is getting boring. Okay, let's go find some outdoor beasts to take on. The scene shifts to the temporary Divine Sword team, where Mulus and Sabia charge in first, familiar with Hydra's movements. Just as Men said, the blonde guy can slice through its scales. When C's turn comes, he's not outdone, easily cutting into its flesh. He was about to chop off a head but stopped, leaving Magul confused. Asked why, he explains he doesn't want to steal the prey. Clearly that guy wants to take it down himself, so he'll just support. Magul agrees, not wanting to be seen as weak. Lyra sees this direct attacker and just shakes her head. Siberia notes it's his charming trait. After healing, she dives in, using her speed to lure and let the swordsman strike freely. Hydra's strength starts fading from the assaults, its movement slowing, so Lyra thinks they have a winning chance. Though magic doesn't work well, Amiya's fireball still deals a bit of damage. Suddenly the beast gets smarter. smashing rocks with its tail that hit the girl, losing their rear support fast, so the initiative swings back to Hydra. Overwhelmed by fear, the little sister faints on the spot. Worse, it lets the beast absorb her magic energy to empower itself. Mulu's has never seen anything like this. Sai explains it's fear radiating from surroundings, not just human ultra-strong monsters can absorb it. To evolve, normally you can't see this with the naked eye, so the situation is spinning out of control. Lyra clarifies that mana is the source of magic power. This only happens in the deepest labyrinth levels. By absorbing massive magic, the beast regrows its 2 severed heads from La's earlier cuts. Its power doubles, or maybe more. Lyra never imagined witnessing such a massive change. Here's the situation. She'll care for Amiya while holding the line for retreat. Magul, still eager, charges to finish it off. His plan to sever a head backfires as his weapon shatters against its diamond-like hide. In the crisis, he's saved by his old teammate. Nina lends a hand too. Let the 2 strong brothers deal damage. C knows Min is a healer sister with immense potential, so he asks for cooperation. First, save Amiya. Since Lyra's healing isn't working, she doesn't know about La's abilities, thinking it's hopeless, but when he uses heal, it takes effect. Normally, a healer sister can only use this skill once, but La stacks it, using heal repeatedly, leaving Lyra baffled. Their old teammates see it as normal, but she explains, "No one on this world layers healing like that. It's like taking multiple fever medicines at once won't cure you instantly. It's just illogical." From here, Lyra wonders, who is La, to fight and use heal so dominantly? Amiya wakes, overjoyed to see men, then drifts back to sleep. Nena is less worried, but more importantly, the beast can't wait for this rematch with men. Sai gets it, surprising Laos since he left an impression. The junior offers help, leaving him helpless because even if he stops her, Nina will fight. He warns her not to be too reckless. As for the other 2 teammates, they can just watch. Lyra stays quiet, not daring to join. Magul's weapon is broken, so he's hesitant to get close. Thus, the temporary team of 3 warriors kicks off round 2 with Hydra. That adorable sister uses her fists to immobilize one head. Seizing the chance, La strikes, making it writhe in pain. C gets serious, unleashing his sword's power to sever a head. Magul admits this guy's strength exceeds his expectations. Wondering why that sword doesn't break, Lyra explains it's a legendary demon sword, passed down through generations impossible to shatter. This weapon ranks as a supreme treasure with unmatched might. At first, Magul thought the stories were made up, but seeing it firsthand, he can't deny it. He wonders who this guy is to wield such a weapon. Nina uses her fighter's ultimate skill, but it barely works, putting herself in danger and worrying La. It seems the beast doesn't want interference, demanding a one-on-one with men. Knowing that, he asks C to hold back, confusing the other 2. They thought monsters act on instinct alone. But Lyra, with more knowledge, says after evolving, Hydra gains human-like intelligence. La repeats not to interfere, since it spared Nina earlier. In response, he pours all his strength into a brutal showdown with the foe. Their battle draws the attention of forces targeting Nina, making them anxious. Men gets taken down because Hydra's endurance is overwhelming. Everyone tries calling out to wake him, but few know this young man has endless potential. Seeing his adorable sister in danger, his instincts transform him into a demonic state instantly. The beast feels threatened. Seech and Lyra are clueless about what Laos is doing. It seems the old man wants to drive men out of the city. Knowing his abilities, he dares not act and just wants to exile him for his schemes. In this demon form, with one strike, La severs all of Hydra's heads before his friend's eyes. Immediately after, he collapses from the immense power. After a short rest, Men is woken by his little sister. She's already been treated by Lyra, so she's fine. It turns out that kind friend spent money on antidotes for everyone. Since it cost a lot, she wants to share the rewards from Men defeating the beast. He agrees. Then, Mulus demands his share of the bounty. Amiya is still sleeping, but not in life-threatening danger. Everyone asks about La's earlier state, but he remembers nothing. The blonde guy praises his old teammate, thinking even a super-hard monster would struggle against him. As before, Men refuses to return, but that guy keeps pressing, wanting to sell the magic stone and split it 3 ways, claiming the new 2 are useless, while Sai fought brilliantly and Lyra spent on healing. Finding him so rude, not even considering Naz and Amiya who tried hard, they even plan to sell the little mage, which C can't accept. Nena steps in and slaps that jerk for saying that. Magul, furious, threatens to report to the guild and get her kicked out for hitting someone, but it's them who get caught, since Lyra and Sai aren't ordinary adventurers. This pair ignores the junior's punch and accuses Sabia and Magul. They're plotting human trafficking and using Lyra as a tool. Back at the guild, everyone learns he's from the Royal Adventurers Guild, just a small branch here, so he outranks the guildmaster. Little Huss asks why a figure like him came here. He says the town's security is worsening, blamed on adventurers, so he's investigating. He caught those two red-handed and charged them. Little Huss knows Royal Guild adventurers can execute others, so no objections. By local laws, they'll definitely be expelled from the guild. That's the lightest punishment. Sai can do as he pleases. Sabia and Mulus might end up in lifelong labor for their vile acts. Seeing them like that, Men invites his friend aside to talk. Out of respect for La, he listens. He wants to beg for the old teammates' forgiveness, as they've always lived for adventuring. Their ambitions corrupted them, leading to this. For adventurers, reputation and money are like life itself. In his view, those two can still be saved, so he hopes Sai gives them a chance to restart as true adventurers. Magul overhears and feels uneasy, since he treated men like dirt and now he's pleading for him. That friend, part respect and part help, banishes the foolish pair from the city. Little H asks if that's really okay. He thinks even expelled they might not reform, better to let them adventure under supervision. From now on, Sai wants to stay in town a while, delighting the receptionist girl. After this, La feels a bit sad but lighter about those two. This will be a lifelong lesson for change. He also thanks Nena for her great help. That night, Sai tells Lyra his mission is to oversee the Mart branch in the capital. They believe the mutations here link to the branch leader. Now, he wants her help. She sets a condition: include Amia in their team, as she can't abandon her. Sai and this girl were once in the same team, so everything's easy. He agrees, looking forward to adventuring with those two soon. The next day, they inform Men and Nina about forming the team. Sai says it's due to circumstances. She sees these three have all the elements a team needs, asking the little mage if it's okay. Realizing they have nowhere else, being helped by Lyra is a blessing. La thinks this is good. Since she has new teammates, he encourages her to try hard, even if it's tough at first. Later, the pair goes to the guild to sell the Hydra magic stone, as yesterday's chaos prevented it. Conveniently, Men asks if she wants to take on a quest. Adventurers have diverse jobs, not just monster hunting. Taking on commissions is another way to boost income. Nina knew about these tasks, like gathering rare items, slaying beasts, or serving as escorts. Min felt that if she wanted to walk the path of an adventurer, gaining experience through quests would be ideal. Hearing this, she was surprised by how much Lao cared about her future, lost in thoughtful reflection. Lost in thought, she was suddenly face to face with him, making her flustered. She deflected by saying, "Brother, hurry up before the guild slips away." Once inside, they noticed everyone staring with uneasy eyes. Lao guessed that news of defeating the Hydra had spread. People murmured, "Who knew the powerless one could be so strong?" Lao warned Nina to stay cautious. Against those eyeing the Hydra's magic stones, no sooner had he spoken than a bold team approached, led by Mao. He wanted a word with Min. Seeing their numbers, they stayed alert. Understanding the situation, the others stepped back to let the two men talk. Mao hoped Min wouldn't hold a grudge, as curiosity about them was rampant. Nina relaxed once she saw he wasn't after the stones. Out of nowhere, Mao bowed in apology. It turned out he knew about Mulus's deeds against Min but hadn't dared intervene. Now that Mulus was banished, he spoke up. He blamed himself for knowing and doing nothing, excusing it as the Sword God's team affair and fearing conflict with Mulus, which let Lao endure baseless rumors. Many here were just like that. They even joined in calling Min powerless. Though they didn't directly harm his life, their actions were unforgivable. Nina agreed and asked what it would take for forgiveness. She joked that if he knelt for 3 days and nights, it might do. Everyone was shocked, and she scolded him harshly, for Lao had suffered for years. Bowing once wasn't enough. Besides, things were fine now, they didn't need to associate with anyone. Seeing her fiery spirit, Lao held her back, fearing they'd be labeled villains again. The conversation lightened up. Lao said that even after defeating the Hydra, he was still flawed, unable to heal like a typical mage, and held no grudges, just let them call him powerless as before. Mao shook his hand, relieved not to be hated, and offered help if they faced troubles ahead. The pair brought the magic stone to young Huss, who lit up with excitement. It was unlike anything she imagined. From such a powerful beast, it was already a treasure, and since Min felled the evolved Hydra, its value soared tenfold. Its color was slightly altered by the mutation. Knowing they'd earn a fortune, the siblings were stunned. She explained that mutated beasts are rare, making this highly valuable, especially from a Hydra. For a beast to evolve, it needs massive magic absorption, usually deep in dungeons, yet this one mutated in the swamp. Something felt off. Lao suspected foul play, as surface areas rarely hold such magic build-up. After hearing about recent monster issues, young Huss confirmed the dungeon was troubled. It wasn't just them encountering strangeness. She was curious but lacked authority to act. Nina asked, "Shouldn't the guild step in now?" Lau suggested forming an investigation team. Just then, the manager arrived, asking what was up. Knowing they were the ones to evict, Hanum called them in. After reviewing reports of strong beasts on the first level, he dismissed it as normal. The guild wasn't bothered with such trifles. Lau worried it could endanger other adventurers. He snapped, "If you're in this line, you know the risks." So, no warnings would come. If anything, it was for Min saying if he was scared he should leave town. The younger sister was furious at his attitude. Min didn't blame him, thinking they were busy. Young Huss said Hanum was always like that, guild staff feared him. She shared that the branch chief, Mr. Miss, was too old to show up, so Hanum handled everything. Min figured he must be skilled. Young Huss agreed, calling him a perfectionist where one mistake blows up. She always tried to avoid his scoldings. Nina got the picture. Brushing it aside, Lau asked about available quests. She pulled out a pile for them to choose from, just pick and report back. The younger sister found some quests ridiculous, but got a flick on the head. Young H said, "With money, people can do anything. It's up to them to accept." Spotting a beast hunting quest, Nina was excited for a fight and wanted to try. Young Host discouraged the pair, as it involved a fire phoenix. It lurked on the middle level near the teleport array, blocking paths. The high reward seemed odd for sending healers and fighters against a phoenix. As a flying beast, without spells, how could they even reach it? At least, they'd need swordsmen, mages, and a healer for wide area recovery. Hearing that, they sparked an idea, as they knew the perfect trio for this. Back home, Min pitched the quest to their friends, seeing if they could team up. Lyra jumped on board, and if Sei wanted to watch Lau, this was ideal. Amiya didn't object, as the siblings had decided. She just worried Min still held a grudge. He didn't, praising her skills. The Sword Gods team drama was over, no need to dwell. Lyra boosted her spirits, noticing her recent gloom. Just like that, their temporary team formed, set for tomorrow. Nina and Min submitted the form and bought gear. With recent earnings, money wasn't an issue. Even with 2 healers, Min wanted extra potions for safety, using herbs with recovery sped healing. Seeing how knowledgeable Lau was while they contributed little, the sisters felt down, pausing in reflection. In reflection, a girl suddenly hugged him. Startled, Nina swung but missed. Recognizing Grandma, she asked why she was here. The beauty teased, "Long time no see, and you swing at me." Nina scolded her for the surprise hug. Turns out, she was a top adventurer, a premier battle mage known as the Flame God. Nina guessed her dad sent her. She called Nina his unique treasure, and insisted on bringing her back for running off. Ranma knew Nina followed a guy, but shocked it was his disciple, making Min just as surprised at his master's appearance. The 3 headed to a tavern to chat about his time under her. To her, Min was a terrible disciple, unlike any other. Nina said she was Dad's acquaintance, calling it destiny. Ranma shooed Min away for family talk, but he refused, saying they were a team now and he had responsibility. Lau didn't want her taking Nina away, as things were going well. Ranma was surprised he dared argue, asking if he was stopping her. Though seen as a foolish disciple, Min stood his ground. He ended up dodging her spell at close range, having learned from past burns. Impressed, the Flame God let him stay. Nina explained she hadn't run away, she was in a rush and left a note. Asked what it said, she confidently replied, "Told Mom and Dad not to worry, I'm off adventuring with brother." They were speechless, no wonder her dad wanted her back. Ranma asked why she left suddenly, but Nina stayed silent. Truth was, after Min saved her as a child, Ranma had always watched over him. Watched him. When he was ousted from his team, she rushed at the bird's call. With a heartfelt plea, she advised Nina to go home and explain. Nina grew sad, fearing separation if her dad forbade it. Ranma assured that her dad didn't ban adventuring, he just worried about her sudden departure and sent her to check. Seeing she was fine, she'd vouch for her. As Min fetched more drinks, the Flame God called Nina foolish for following him without revealing herself. To Nina, that brother was a Mazinga healer who fights, filled with knowledge from her. She came to help him, but ended up being the one supported, feeling like a burden. The Flame God disagreed, noting Min had changed. He once never challenged her, but now defied for Nina's sake, proving she was special to him. Hearing that, Nina's spirits lifted. They continued on quests together. As for the fiery master, she delved into her real mission. Arriving here, she investigated what Old Mist was plotting. Min's group teleported to the Phoenix's nest in the dungeon. Nina was on edge at first, expecting an ambush, but nothing came. Min explained that in these tight spaces, the Phoenix couldn't fly well, they'd need to go further for open areas. Winged beasts hate cramped rooms, so why was the Fire Phoenix here? Soon, they found a vast space, likely the nest. Lyra mentioned a new path discovered, uncharted territory. Beating the phoenix meant access to rare treasures, a dream for adventurers. Amiya and Naina were thrilled. Lao checked the lingering heat on the stones and realized the bird was above. To lure it, Min threw a brick to make noise. Phoenixes fiercely guard their territory, attacking any intruders. Quickly, the fiery orb dove at them. Prepared, Lao stayed calm. Back at the guild, they welcomed the beauty. With her greedy eyes, young Huss saw a golden opportunity and approached. The flame god greeted them to the mart branch. From the receptionist's view, Ranma's form was extraordinary. Beyond her striking figure, her gear was top-tier magic items. Young Huss was sure she was a renowned adventurer from elsewhere. Asking her purpose, Ranma said she sought the branch chief. Though unannounced, she demanded to meet him. It was that intense. Young Huss thought she might be the old man's granddaughter, but no. She claimed to know him and wanted to end him, leaving the receptionist baffled. Not stopping, she threatened to burn the place if he didn't show. Hannum stepped in to talk, calling her Ranmath flame god no less. He was tough, telling his colleague to leave or die. Back in the dungeon, the battle hadn't started. The phoenix circled high, seeking an opening. Nina realized she and Min alone couldn't take it down. Lao wished they'd bought a bow, but doubted its use. Distracted, the adorable sister was targeted. Min reacted in time, saving her from becoming roasted Nina. He warned it attacks with fire from its beak or claws, using its body as a weapon. As for Ranma, after stating her reasons, she learned others had reported dungeon issues, urging the guild to act. Hannum stuck to his view. It was rare but not unprecedented. She saw the adventurers here as shady, believing the chief invited them. He denied it, hiding the truth. Back then she never saw those white towers, so she suspected him. He claimed they were unrelated to the guild. Asked her basis, she said her intuition was sharp. In a dungeon town, the guild is supreme, the chief like a king, free to do as he pleases. Yet, he acted oblivious. Hannum said he was just an employee, suggesting she leave if unsatisfied. The flame god sensed their deceit, welcoming thugs while shunning questioners. Her instincts warned of an upcoming catastrophe, best to let the worthless perish first. She hinted at a dungeon riot. Min's group struggled to ground the beast. If it continued, the area would become a sea of fire. The heat was deadly, and worse, it could cause oxygen depletion. At worst, they'd retreat empty-handed. It sensed their strength and used fire to drive them out. Nina was amazed. She thought beasts attacked on sight, but the phoenix was strategic. She asked Amiya if she had a strong, long-range water spell to target its wings and unbalance it. Casting something powerful took time. Amiya was worried, but with their promise to protect her, she tried. Lyra and Naina rallied her spirits, assuring her this team wasn't like the sword gods, she could trust them. The three melee fighters charged to distract the fiery bird. Seeing that, Amiya began her chant, putting Lyra at ease. It was a lesson in trusting teammates, shaping her into a model adventurer. At the guild, they discussed the potential dungeon riot, a grave threat, though rare. With recent mutations, it seemed inevitable. Ranma felt a massive magic build-up in town, like the Hydra fight. The phoenix's power surged, mutating with deadly flames. Nina sensed something wrong. Witnessing 2 mutations in days was unheard of. Amiya was terrified, fearing death. Lyra knew if the beast fed on her fear, it'd grow stronger and scar her growth. As a healer, she couldn't cure fears. The bird, vengeful, targeted the young mage. Amiya froze in terror. Sei kept his word, blocking with his magic sword, splitting the flames. The heat was intense, but he stood firm, vowing no harm to teammates and urging her to rise. For victory, they needed her power. Lyra encouraged her, dispelling the fear. Amiya stood, asking for time to chant. Ranma had to leave, as Hannum stonewalled her. She hadn't expected truth anyway. The flame god headed to the White Tower for clues it wouldn't burn, raising suspicions. Nina seized her chance. Enhanced punch hit the phoenix, but it shrugged off, burning her hand. Lao stepped in, slashing fast, but his sword melted. Luckily, Amiya finished her chant, launching a massive ice arrow at the mutated bird. Lyra supported with healing energy. It hit the wings, dropping it slightly. Sei couldn't strike, so Nina leaped, kicking its head down. Lao drove his sword in, felling the phoenix. Amiya couldn't believe they beat another mutant. Her role was crucial. Praised, she regained confidence and teared up. The magic stone was huge, selling it would yield a fortune. Min didn't transform this time, sharing the load. Lyra and Sei wondered about Lao's state, wanting to observe him longer. Back at the inn, they met the master again, surprised she knew about the phoenix hunt. Turns out, Ranma bribed young Huss for info. Min was uneasy about the leak. Seeing their state, she guessed success and demanded a treat. Beyond the stone sale, they earned from the quest but treated her to cheap food. Naina, new to it, called it delicious. The master agreed, Fancy meals lack this flavor. Hearing that, they were shocked at Nina's background. She tried to hide it, but Ranma revealed Nina as the Earl of Anara's daughter. It jogged Min's memory of saving a girl from that family. She was that sister now. Switching to Mr. Miss, Hanum reported the flame god's visit. He was pleased and asked for favors. The next day, Nina and Lao collected Phoenix Stone payment. The bag was small, frustrating Nina. They had to wait for funds, and now this paltry amount? Young Huss stayed calm, telling her to open it first. It was gold coins, seeming less, but worth a fortune. She went through effort to gather it, begging other branches. Min warned not to flaunt it. Lao tipped her, thanking her help. She was glad, saying they aided her too. Suddenly, he left, making young Huss think they fought. Nina worried and followed. Town buzzed with tales of a deep dungeon entity, an evil force seeking to claim all the Dark Dragon, awakening after 200 years. Only a hero could face it. Nearby, the little sister bought breakfast. Nina hesitated but brought up their earnings, suggesting a house rental for privacy. She'd planned this. It'd save money long term. He asked if Mary's inn had issues. She loved it but wanted alone time with him. The inn was too crowded, hindering their bond. She dreamed of closeness, even a kiss, thrilling her. But Min refused, saying saving for hardships was wiser. Their group was temporary. Rushing rental wasn't smart. Yesterday, Say invited a full team, but they hadn't answered. Nina wanted just them. Asked if he wanted to team up. Min saw Say's strength vital for deeper levels. Though she'd stay surface with him, she agreed to the team. That night, they officially formed. The inn owners made special dishes to celebrate. Full, Amia slept, and Lyra took her up. Say offered help, but she said no, reminding him to bond with Lao as teammates. The younger sister followed for private talk. Upstairs, Say offered help, but she declined, urging him to connect with Lao. The younger sister shared her bold rental invite and rejection, feeling sad and fearing hate. Lyra saw Lao cherished the adorable sister. His refusal was likely shyness. He'd close the gap first. Men vary, like Se needed understanding. Nina admired Lyra's relationship insight. Lyra had no romances but seemed wise from maturity. Downstairs, Say and Lao opened up. He thought living together was fine. Nina admired him, so her advance made sense. He warned Min's refusal might mislead, asking if he disliked her. No, it was the opposite. From their first meeting, when he was desperate, she reignited his adventuring spirit. When he lost confidence, she stood by him. Everything was positive. Say asked if he loved her, making Min blush and admit it under the wine's influence. Upstairs, Lyra shared her and Say's story. They met long ago in the capital, in the same team. She was beautiful, attracting suitors, including one who joined to woo her. Ami awoke, drawn to the tale as girls shared freely. The suitor tried advances, but her heart was Say's, so she fought back. Since it didn't escalate, she let it go, but Say couldn't forgive himself and vanished. His reason: he couldn't face her after failing to protect her, though he loved her. Reunited here, she helped without hesitation. He still hadn't forgiven himself. She had, but his guilt lingered. She scolded him for not understanding her feelings. They could have been together. Amia joined the chat, eager for more. Say asked why Min rejected her despite liking her. There must be a reason. Min confirmed and needed more info. When invited to live together, he was happy, but just then, the info arrived. Lao had asked young Huss to investigate Nina's hair change. Say was amazed at her side gigs. She asked if it was okay to share publicly. He agreed. First, Nina was the Earl of Anaria's only daughter, linked to hero legends defeating the Dark Dragon. His evil power threatened the hero, so the sleeping princess lulled him to save her love. As nobility, she'd inherit, but she wanted to adventure, and her family opposed. Say said that's common. Nobles hunt beasts. Young Huss clarified she was delicate, so they blocked her. Then, her hair turned green overnight. Green was rare, and such changes were unknown. Amia praised it, but it hid her identity from Lao. He was curious, so he asked young Huss. She didn't know the cause, but said it was significant, letting Nina do as she pleased. Perhaps she had a short life, so they wanted experiences. But Nina was strong, beating the phoenix, so young H doubted illness. That was all. Lao paid her. He wanted to trust Nina but feared secrets, hence the investigator. If her dad opposed, he'd take her home and help. The sisters admired her daughter of an earl, training for a man, waiting years. She was bold, unlike Lyra. They wished for her drive and pushed the pair together. She whispered to Say for a private chat. Young and naive, he went. Lyra confessed, asking if he'd let her be his lifelong partner. He was confused, as they were already teamed, but she meant marriage. Shocked but happy, he said he'd think earning a scolding. The sisters were exasperated with him. Lyra understood him. He never thought of such things, so this was progress. Nina was glad and accepted Lau's outing invite. The sleeping princess tale was a tragedy. To lull the dragon, she sacrificed her life. Fate decreed green-haired ones would aid the hero. In the dungeon, a shady group was cornered, sacrificing a rookie like Min once was. Switching to Nina, she anticipated the outing, daydreaming and frustrating everyone. Lyra, as a woman, knew it was from his invite. She asked if it was romantic. Say advised resolving it for quests. He agreed, seeing her innocent joy, even eyeing flowers. Calling her, she jumped. Before sweet words, Chris appeared wounded, saved by them, so Lau postponed personal matters. He was the inn-owner's friend, saddening them. As healers, Lyra and Lau saved him. She was surprised at Sella's care. The owner said Chris was her daughter's friend, an orphan passionate like Min. They invited him for meals, but he wanted independence and bragged about joining a team. Lau realized why he was hurt. Apologizing to Nina, he rushed to the guild. As suspected, the exploiters were caught. They confessed using him as bait. Lau glared, asking what to do. They just wanted no more harm and to leave town forever. His friend warned of worse next time. Young Huss scolded Lau for meddling. The guild should punish them. She turned a blind eye. Others blamed the guild for allowing thugs. She said policy welcomed all. They couldn't filter. Lau questioned the guild's leaders. Hanum asked the same about his actions. As registered adventurers, they followed rules. Who gave him authority? He thought they should leave. Others were angry, but Lau talked privately, recounting the exploitation. Such incidents happened everywhere. But here, the guild did nothing. Hanum said efforts wouldn't help. The guild had limits and focused on effective issues. Lau raged. So let orphans die struggling. He corrected that no one forced them. Other jobs existed, and adventurers knew the risks. If Lau couldn't handle it, leave for a perfect place. Min recalled the adventurer's mantra. Danger is constant. The powerless die. That's the world's way. Unchangeable. Hanum asked if he'd forgotten, showing his scar they were old teammates. Recalling, they dreamed of adventuring, joining a large team as pack mules. Lau was fine, but Noan weakened, exploited for pay. Min offered help, but he refused. Noan swore to become strong. One night, goblins attacked. Lau sensed them and warned. Everyone fled, leaving them as bait. The leader knew escape was impossible. Noan was shocked, and Lau explained their use as sacrifices. He'd faced it before and encouraged survival to expose them. They escaped as the goblins chased the group. Goblins hunted in packs for meat, toying with the strong but bored with the weak. They waited for dawn. A goblin returned, alerting the horde. Noan sighed relief. Enjoying the fight sounds their turn as bait. Lau said he'd save them, confusing Noan. During the fight, Noan was wounded, and Lau healed him. He urged Lau to go, as goblins might return. As adventurers, danger was inherent. The powerless died, and he'd accepted it. Lau disagreed. The world was harsh, but there were ways out, as he'd been saved. They broke through and escaped, but never met again. Noan understood the out, but doubted the powerless always got lucky. Later, he was helped by Mr. Miss and saw him as a master. Lau guessed that. Noan worked here, changing his name. Bringing up the past wasn't for reunion. He wanted Lau to leave. This was his way of repaying. The only out now. Confused, Lau asked what was happening. Hanum wouldn't say, just told him to take Nena, and Goit was his final warning. Downstairs, Min and his friend were called by young Huss for talk. She said many opposed the chief and Hanum. The old man spoke up, frustrating veterans. She proposed something for them. Min discussed it with Nina, saying they needed to clear beasts near the main road before civilians were at risk. Nina wondered why it wasn't a guild quest. Lau was curious, and young Huss said it was Hanum's order. For handling rogue adventurers, she'd leak info. Lau could warn them not to exploit the weak, like Chris. As for dungeon mutations, she couldn't say it was the chief's command, but she'd whisper warnings. Adventurers must stay vigilant. Slaying beasts meant magic stone sales, and she'd boost the price from her pocket. They were shocked at her generosity. Nina agreed, as it was an adventurer's duty. Say and Lyra were busy training orphans for defense. Nina joined teaching martial arts, asked if he talked to his sister. Min had forgotten amid events. Switching to Hanum delivering a letter from the Prime Minister to the Master about watching Nena, the chosen sleeping princess. He asked if she was that important. It recalled the Dark Dragon story reel, not a tale, soon to destroy the kingdom. Nina's green hair could suppress it. Min's group watched the beasts approaching town, not native here. Lyra ordered an ambush. Amia had long-range attacks, but Lau wanted none to escape, so they set a trap. Asked why the effort, he said, to avoid harming passers-by. They'd circle downwind. Passing their old attack site, they recalled and fought there again. Nina now fought beside him, her enhanced punch obliterating beasts, unlike her tears before. Min charged for their survival. Now, they stood together, fulfilling their team promise. These were weak, so victory was swift. But it was just the beginning of greater horrors. A massive earthquake shook the area, panicking the town after years of calm. They weren't surprised, having anticipated it. The chief grieved as the catastrophe began. At the inn, Min checked on Mary. She was fine. Then, Manuel's team rushed in, begging him to come. They thought it'd be the guild, but went to the outskirts for a beast horde. He called his team. These goblins were smarter, led by giants. Manuel's group knew they'd attack and intercepted, but overwhelmed, sought help. No guild reward, but they protected the town. The beasts were numerous but weak, save the leaders. Young Huss said many opposed and proposed aid. Min told Nina about clearing beasts near the road. She asked why not a quest. He was curious, and young Huss explained it was Hannum's order. For rogue adventurers, she'd inform them. Lau could warn against exploiting the weak. As for mutations, she couldn't speak, it was the chief's command, but she'd warn discreetly. In short, slaying beasts meant earnings, and she'd hike the price. They were stunned at her selflessness. Nina agreed, as it was their duty. Say and Lyra trained orphans. She joined teaching. Asked about the talk, Min had forgotten. Hannum delivered a letter about Nina as the sleeping princess. He asked her importance. It was the dark dragon's return. Her hair could suppress it. Min's group watched the advancing beasts. Lyra ordered an attack. Amir had range, but Lau wanted a full trap. Asked why, he said for safety. They'd approach downwind. Passing the old site, they recalled and fought. Nenna now fought freely, her punch decimating beasts, unlike before. Min led the charge. Together, they triumphed, as promised. The key difference is that this sister can now fight on her own, without needing La's protection. With her enhanced punch, she wipes out monsters in one hit, though she's just crying through it. Meanwhile, Men charges ahead, clawing for survival for both. Now, they stand side by side, defeating all, just like their old team promise. Because this is too weak, victory comes quickly. But that's just the beginning of greater disasters ahead. A massive earthquake shakes the area, sending the town into panic, something unseen for years. Those involved aren't surprised, as they anticipated this. The branch leader is saddened that this horrific event has started. Men returns to the inn, asking if Mary is okay, and learns it's nothing serious. Soon after, Manuel's team rushes in with an emergency report, asking La to come along. At first they think it's to the guild, but they're led to the town's outskirts for scouting. Men calls the whole team and discovers a horde of monsters gathering. These goblins are smarter than the ones before. Plus, massive ones are leading the pack. Manuel's group knows they're attacking, so they're intercepting here, but the numbers are overwhelming, forcing them to seek help. This incident wasn't reported to the guild, so no rewards. Still, they want to protect the town, so it doesn't matter. The monsters are many, but mostly weak, except for the big ones. La faces one head-on, successfully severing an arm. Shockingly, this type understands human language and speaks casually. They all chant together, leaving everyone stunned and confused. No one's ever heard of monsters talking, so this is unpredictable. According to X, even if they can communicate, goblins are still beasts that must be destroyed no mercy. Their goal is to protect the town, just focus on that. Manuel's team, hearing this, feels at ease and fights as usual. All goblins are wiped out. But before vanishing, the leader warns of something far worse that will doom humanity. After fading, it drops a large magic stone, confirming it's a mutated breed. One crisis ends, another begins. Monsters are surging everywhere around the town, their numbers endlessly growing. They have no choice but to retreat and seek help from the guild. Surprisingly, the guild is already gathering all the adventurers to face the beasts. It turns out the higher-ups have multiplied the bounties for monsters escaping the dungeon. Even Huss has no idea what Hannum is planning with this new policy. On top of that, he's generously paying advances to boost everyone's morale. What they fear is that the shady adventurers might slip away and abandon the fight. Though it's a bit messy, this ensures enough people stay to defend the town. Manuel's team vows to battle until their last breath. Sai realizes Huss's superior seems to have prepared for this all along. Prophecies foretold this, proving they anticipated the chaos. Their master suddenly appears, surprising everyone. They thought she had left, but she foresaw this too. Ranma challenges Laos to guess what's happening. Let's see what he thinks. With past lessons and the horde of beasts, Men confirms it's a dungeon riot. Huss has heard of this before. She leads them to check the records from 100 years ago. This is the phenomenon where monsters overflow from the dungeon. If villages or towns are nearby, they're prime targets for attack. The cause is a massive buildup of magic energy in the dungeon. To stop the riot, adventurers must let newborn beasts absorb the excess magic. At this point, Huss remembers that adventurers are an organization meant to balance and reduce the energy in the dungeon. Being new to such a large-scale event, her greed for gold made her forget. Ranma doesn't blame her, as it's been 100 years since the last one. The guild is fulfilling its role. Though 100 years sounds long, records of monster riots are plentiful. In the capital's library, her grandmother's grandfather survived the event 100 years ago and shared the tales. If you've been an adventurer long enough, you've likely heard of it, even if just bits. I can confirm I've heard the stories. Manuel senses something odd, as this town is packed with adventurers. They slay so many monsters daily in the dungeon. If that's the case, how could enough magic build up for such a disaster? The true cause is unknown to their master. But it's happening now, so Ranma asks her foolish disciple what to do. He hesitates, then asks everyone to build defenses for the town. The people around the inn don't hesitate, offering their belongings to create a protective wall. Huss explains that the dungeon riot will last a few days, so this is the right move. Laos can't predict what'll happen, but he knows the town will suffer greatly. Preparing now makes defense easier. Nearby, the younger ones want to join the fight, but Manuel scolds them. He's grateful for Chris's spirit, but they'd just be a burden. If they want to help, wait until they're older. He knows they can fight in their own way, like aiding the wounded in battle. There's plenty else to do. Being an adventurer isn't just about slaying beasts. Understanding this, they drop the idea and start helping the people, assisting Mary with food prep. Laos later praises his sharp-minded friend, recalling their own youthful days, both wanting the kids to enjoy childhood a bit longer. The attacks have begun. Hordes of adventurers stand firm, as this is their battlefield. With high bounties on beasts, everyone wants to wipe them out completely. Some use carts to block escape routes. The initial chaos is just goblins, but soon mid-level monsters appear. Ranma is stunned by how fast the beasts advance, reaching here in half a day. She urges her foolish disciple to steel his face for battle. Even she hasn't faced this before, so Laos shouldn't blame himself. To clear his mind, she advises men to fight with all his heart. The sky fills with flying beasts. Lyra is terrified as these appear in daylight, proving they're all mutants. The beasts chant their savage cries like echoes of some deep grudge. The flame god unleashes spells, incinerating everything. Soon, the first wave is destroyed. But before a breath, the second swarm arrives, wearing down the flame god. With numbers like this, if they don't know how many more, Nina asks for more support but gets refused. She needs rest. Sai says they can keep fighting and asks Laos what he thinks. Of course, he agrees, as the sisters have Lyra covered. They charge into the enemy lines, fighting fiercely. Somehow, C slips and nearly takes a hit. Luckily, the legendary swordsman Ronaldo saves him. He teases his weak disciple, making the blue magic sword look like it's about to cry. This is also Men's master, so they exchange greetings. Lyra is surprised that these kids are friends with the top legends in adventuring. Even Nina was trained by him once. Hearing this, the two brothers are shocked that she never mentioned it. She cheerfully reveals that Ronaldo and Ranma once taught her. The downside is she wasn't suited for swords or magic, so she quit. In contrast, Men is the star disciple Ronaldo acknowledges. Turns out, C and him came from the same training ground. Lyra even thought they were brothers, they look so alike. Ronaldo says you could call it that way, but the flame god scolds him for being late, calling him the fire demon for always being hot-headed. The legendary swordsman's blade is even more special than Sai's. No wonder he passed it to his disciple. Though they'd love to chat more, as the latecomer, he takes over the fight for everyone. So, Amir and Manuel witness his terrifying skills, wondering who he is. Ranma admits he's the strongest swordsman she knows. They were once teammates, adventuring everywhere with Laos too. Suddenly, Hamzom appears with a magical gate, shocking all. Ranma recognizes it as a lost spell from centuries ago. The branch chief invites her. So he opens the door like this. She's got things to discuss, so she agrees. With Ronaldo handling things here, it's fine. Seeing this, C asks to join, saying he needs to talk to the branch chief. Hannum agrees and brings Nena along since she's involved. The three are transported to the old man's lair. Nina doesn't get why she's called there. Her master warns them not to do anything foolish, as the old man is incredibly strong, beyond even her reach. She says even at full power, victory isn't guaranteed. Hearing this, Laos can't imagine how powerful he is. As soon as she finishes, her master blasts the door apart as a greeting, yet she warns against stupidity. The old man sees this as rude toward his master. But it's been a while. Turns out he's from the elf race, favored by the gods, but probably the last one left. Knowing he's the master of men's master, they stay silent. She tells them, elves control magic far better than humans. This old man is one of the few who've lived over 600 years, so he's a master of all spells, a wizard beyond compare. Laos asks a silly question. So even you have a master? He thought Anmar was a once-in-a-century genius who self-taught magic. The opponent glances at Nina, making her nervous. More importantly, they want to know why he called them here. After ignoring each other for so long, it's not for old times, and she senses he's plotting something. Called out for his insolence, the old man is saddened. Hannum understands his intentions, and Ma is surprised that this young man is his disciple. He teases if she's jealous. He notes Hannum has no talent for magic, like Men, who's more of a swordsman. Though she learned nothing from the old man, she still calls him master for all she's gained. He says that's the attitude of a true disciple. With no choice, she yields and asks the main point. It's a long story, so he creates chairs for everyone to sit and listen. First, about the chaos outside, he admits it was all planned. Knowing the riot was coming, he lured the shady adventurers here to use them. Even if they die, it's no loss. The phrase, "get out of the town," was for the good-hearted adventurers, to keep them and the people safe. Before that, Laos and his group noticed the unusual mutants. That's why they evolved so rapidly, signaling the upcoming riot. Nina asks why they didn't warn everyone, so they could prepare and evacuate. Hannum explains they only knew a riot was coming, not when exactly. Warning too early could cause panic, and if it took a year, it'd worsen things. Still, hiding it and evicting people is wrong, and Ma realizes the info wasn't for public release. Hearing this, Hannum is startled as it's spot on. The old man doesn't hide it since they're not the cause of the chaos. If they could control riots, it'd be overpowered. The secrecy order came from above, not him, as he doesn't want more deaths. Laos thinks it's the Capital's Guild, but it's even higher. Hannum guesses it's the one controlling the entire Adventurers Guild in the country. Since the riot's happening, he doesn't hide it. The war could drag on for days. Though some towns will be destroyed, once the beasts run out of magic, things return to normal. The capital is far away, so it's unaffected. The nearby towns suffer most. Not warning keeps the capital stable. Nina can't accept this, as Magus's people will die. That's why Mr. Mist acted. Knowing Anmar sees the issue, he requests an explanation about the white pillars in town. They look harmless but are incredibly powerful. If it's as the flame god thinks, they shield the town from beasts and are the guildmaster's trump card against disasters. Maintaining the barrier needs huge magic. The riot just started, and even the shady adventurers are exhausted. In that state, protecting the town is impossible, so this teacher needs a heavy hitter like her. No one has magic like Anmar. He's old and has other tasks, so he can't supply the magic. Hannum says they'll go to the deepest dungeon level to defeat the boss. Hearing this, the two are shocked, as no one's found it. He says they haven't, but the guild has located it somewhat, so it's not vague. Laos sees it as too uncertain for her to be the energy source. Hannum affirms that defeating the dungeon boss will cut the beast's magic, ending the riot. It's the best option now. With no choice, Anmar agrees to save lives outside. Ronaldo and C are fighting hard, but the beasts keep coming. Lyra is glad to see her brother still strong. For now, this area is secure, no beasts getting through. On the other side, Manuel's group isn't as lucky, taken down by a few mutants. Normal beasts are bad enough, but these are massive. One breakthrough puts the kids behind in danger. Sai knows this and begs his master to help push them back. Of course he agrees, as it's been a while since a real fight. Back at the magic supply for the barrier, they split according to the plan. Anmar leaves the girls to her disciples, as she must enter. Before going, she reminds her foolish disciple to stay alert with Mr. Miss, as she feels he's hiding something. Laos realizes the device could drain her magic, putting her in danger if the fight drags on. Instantly, the barrier light shoots up, enveloping the town. Now they see the invisible wall that's always protected it. The beasts panic, unable to enter despite their efforts. The barrier holds firm. This is the flame god's unbreakable shield. Thanks to it, adventurers can pass through safely while monsters are trapped outside. Seeing the advantage, everyone rallies to eliminate the mutants. C is exhausted, so Ronaldo lets him rest. Gasping for air, yet still swinging his sword, their side now outnumbers the beasts, since the town is secure. Amia is shocked by the barrier blocking monsters and wonders who made it. Laos returns, and Naina tells everyone her master is the sacrifice. If the battle lingers, Anmar might run out of magic and not escape. To shield a town this size, energy drains fast. Even the flame god has limits. Foreseeing this, Anmar sends a farewell, fearing she won't return. Unsure what to do, a massive beast appears, charging the barrier and threatening all. A strengthened griffin is unimaginable. Ronaldo sees this will drain her magic more, so he calls everyone to fight. Lao steps up first, not wanting his beautiful master in danger. His teacher advises calm, as he's here. They charge out of the barrier to battle. Not wasting time on minions, they clear a path for his teacher. Soon, the beasts retreat in fear. Fanzi appears, explaining their terror. This one and the one above are superior to the phoenix before. From the first glance, Laos and Nina know its strength. Fanzi's legs are faster than thunder. No beast matches its speed yet. Hearing this, Sai's hand shakes, from fear or excitement facing such power. His master hands him the dog. He'll handle the griffin to save Anmar. Okay, take this one, but no guarantee of winning to keep it from bothering her. Amiya attacks to distract Fanzi. Enraged, it charges at blinding speed. Luckily, Men blocks it, telling her to fall back as he can't protect her. He matches its speed somewhat, holding it off. Lyra is shocked, but Sai worries Laos can't last long. Quickly, it's covered in wounds and collapses. Seeing this, Sai takes over to give her time to recover. She's worried, but Men acts like he's fine. Lyra scolds him for saying that with half his arm gone. Recovery will take time. On the other side, Griffin meets its match and falls. No beast withstands the legendary swordsman's direct hit without a scratch. Ronaldo enjoys facing something this strong after so long. Sai holds Fanzi temporarily. Amiya keeps pelting it with spells from behind. Though it doesn't hurt, it's annoying. Fanzi calls more beasts and drags her away. With no choice, Nena steps in. Sai can't react to its speed, and loses his sword. It lunges at Lyra, sending her flying, but she's alive. Men is taken by Fanzi, infuriating Nena. She swore to protect her brother, so she clashes with her skills. Nena troubles the beast. Arimi doesn't dare cast spells, fearing she'll hit her friend. Nasa enhances her kick and smashes its face, sending it flying, but this only enrages it more. Suddenly, she thinks it's amazing, pure white fur, stunningly beautiful, strength and speed unmatched. Quickly, Nina is overpowered by hundreds of slashes. Though she enhances her arms to block, she can't avoid defeat. But this doesn't mean it's won, she's just buying time. Laos exploits the opening and strikes a fatal blow. They defeat it, thrilling Nina, but she faints from pain. When she wakes, it's all over. The badass teacher finishes the griffin. Now, if the branch chief keeps his word and slays the dungeon boss, the flame god is safe. For now, they head back to the inn to rest, utterly exhausted. As they're celebrating, Hanum suddenly appears, seizes Nena, and teleports away before everyone. As Anmar warned, they're hiding something, infuriating Men. Nearby, the good-hearted adventurers finally clear the remaining beasts in town. Now, they pin their hopes on the barrier. If it holds until the riot ends, great. If not, no one knows what's next. The kids see how tired they are and bring food to replenish them, as things calm down. With calm settling, the kids urge them to rest and recover. Laos's group is at the inn, planning Nina's rescue. Her master reveals it's tied to the sleeping princess legend, and she's the one mentioned. Amiya still sees it as a fairy tale. But the truth is, every 200 years the chosen one awakens with the evil dragon. Hearing this, C is stunned, as in the tale, Nina would sacrifice herself for the dragon to eat and save humanity. On their side, she's brought to Mr. Miss. Furious, she punches, but his immense power stops her with a glance. He asks how much she knows about the evil dragon legend. Everyone's heard it once. 200 years ago, a world-ending beast appeared but was slain by a hero. The story is true, but reality differs slightly. The evil dragon still exists, just pushed back, waiting to return. It's not just 200 years, it was 400 and 600 years ago too. It's the same dragon each time. After being defeated, it retreats to gather strength, creating a 200-year cycle. Its return is now, but no hero has emerged. No one is old enough to be the savior against this dragon. It will appear in the deepest dungeon level. Though they can't destroy it, they can lull it to sleep. That's why he took Nina for this method. Her distinctive green hair proves she's the next sleeping princess. Of course, her father knew, explaining why he let her wander. But the one exploiting Nina isn't him. As he said, someone more powerful above forces this. According to C, it's likely the Prime Minister. He only cares about minimizing the dragon's damage. It sounds good, but minimizing doesn't mean saving all. If 100 people exist and 51 are saved, sacrificing 49 is fine. Originally, this town had no barrier, meant as a sacrifice for the dragon's revival. It would cause a riot, as recorded through history. The beasts would head straight to the nearest town for destruction. Once the capital sees the danger, they'll demand the king act, letting the Prime Minister control everything from economy to imprisoning opponents. In short, Mart's people are fated to die. Each revival, the dragon picks a different dungeon based on magic shifts. Decades ago, they knew it'd return here. Yet, Mr. Miss defied the Prime Minister, secretly building the barrier to protect the town. As it is now, it's the last resort. The two in greatest danger are Nina and the Flame God. They truncated for length, continue pattern are crucial. One secures the town now, the other repels the evil dragon, as Ronaldo guesses, but they don't know the old man's full plan. X worries about his location. It's simple. To stop the riot, they must slay the dungeon boss. Of course, he's headed to the deepest level. To save them, they'll be the first to reach it. Asking Laos what he thinks, he says they have to risk it, as there's no other way. X values Nina highly, so he'll go too. The two girls do the same, so they set off to the dungeon to rescue her. At the same time, Nina, knowing the story, willingly follows them. With a special teleport array, they reach the deepest level easily. Ahead are ancient ruins from thousands of years ago. Above, with the riot ongoing, most dungeon beasts are out. So, Laos's group descends effortlessly. At Nina's spot, a one-eyed giant appears. It's a dangerous beast only in the final level. Mr. Mist points ahead to the dungeon master's shrine. That beast is just a guard. Out truncated for length, ensure full translation in actual output side. Everyone thought this place was untouched, but the branch chief knew it long ago. Only he and Hannum have been here, so they know well. As they're joking, Laos's team arrives as predicted. But this alerts the guards, who attack immediately. Without words, Men charges with his special skill, worrying his team. As the beast is incredibly strong, but he's raging, nearly turning demonic, so the Cyclops aren't matches. They're defeated so fast, no one understands what happened, including the witnesses. Perhaps only a few know his true potential. Mr. Mist was waiting, telling the youth not to make that scary face. He has no intention of sacrificing Nina, so don't worry. He returns her, asking what they want. The branch chief doesn't accept the prime minister's way. Sacrificing a few is enough for him. Ronaldo asks if Laos and Nina are among those to be sacrificed, and the shady adventurers above. It's hard to say, but no one's died yet, which is good. He wants this to settle down. But it depends on their determination. Ideally, they can stop the evil dragon without the sleeping princess's power. Everything hinges on the dungeon boss's magic output for the dragon, so they must defeat it to end the riot above and buy time for humanity. At first, they're scared, but to save Ranma, they must fight, and he'll support, so victory is assured. He has the power, but as an old elf near death, relying on him isn't ideal. Humanity needs strong ones to fight evil. What better lesson than this battle? The world belongs to humans now, not other races, so they must succeed. Lyra is worried, wondering if the old man's plotting something. The scale rivals saving the world, beyond her imagination. She doesn't know if she can help. X asks Men, who doesn't trust it, but to save their master and those above they must try. And Nana won't be dragon bait anymore. Men shows determination, thrilling her as he worries for her. Entering the ruins, the old man boosts their fighting spirit. If 200 years ago the hero couldn't destroy the evil dragon, this time it's them. The dragon needs massive magic to revive, so the beasts rioted to supply it. The dungeon boss transfers that magic, so defeating it brings peace. Pushing back the dragon is temporary, but it buys time. As everyone's ready, Mr. Mist reveals the boss. It has one massive head. They charge, provoking it. It unleashes destructive lightning everywhere to crush them. Amir immobilizes it, so Sai and Ronaldo easily sever part of its body. Using the smoke, Nina closes in and shatters its skull. In pain, it lowers, not realizing someone's waiting. Laos finishes it off, succeeding. She's thrilled, but things aren't that easy. The boss was weak because it completed its magic collection. He's unlucky to face the evil dragon first. The dragon knows Mr. Mist well, as it's their umpteenth meeting. The guild miscalculated the dragon's recovery. It's almost done, so it'll soon escape. Now, it wants to play more, demanding Mr. Mist trade his life. The youth is ready to die. He begs his master to save the world in this crisis. Even a long-lived one like him let his guard down, getting controlled by the dragon's evil power. Possessing the new body, the dragon plans to use it instead of the boss for full recovery. Seeing this, the others are helpless. Hannum survives, but the people above are in grave danger. The old man teleports to the surface to shatter the barrier and resume the riot. Inside, the flame god holds on, waiting for Men's group. But the dragon in Mr. Mist keeps attacking, confusing her. She thought the branch chief defeated the boss. She knows her master well, so for him to be in this, the dragon must be near awakening. Min's group just escaped but is tending to Hannum. Things worsen, even the people inside feel the fear and despair the evil dragon wants to spread. This way, it absorbs energy to speed its return. The ground shakes, signaling destruction. Countless beasts from the dungeon head to the town. The second riot will be bigger. At this rate, no one will survive, so Laos hurries to recover and stop it. The adventurers inside are trying to get reports on the beast numbers and are shocked. Not wanting the kids worried, they hide that everything's under control. Now, they can only hope the barrier holds. If not, the beasts get in. Ronaldo observes that Yanma won't last long. Her magic is depleting fast, and he asks about the youth's condition, but Men doesn't know. The dragon's wound is special magic. Even he or another healer can't fix it quickly. He knows he's hindering them, so he advises stopping and forgiving his master. Mr. Miss is Hanum's benefactor. He raised him like a parent. As orphans in town, they know they're often scorned and used, but the branch chief was different. He taught him everything, despite being talentless. Though he needed a human to take over as an elf, Hanum felt his sincerity not just as a tool. So, when he hesitated to attack, the old man was glad he was cared for. Laos misunderstands. For him, the branch chief is important, but also a friend. Hearing this, the youth is touched, as he sees Men as a friend too. So, he tried to pull him from this mess before. Nina thinks Hanum is selfish for hiding everything. That's not a friend. Laos advises her to calm down. Seeing him refuse treatment, she motivates him to live and take responsibility. So, they continue treating, hoping the master holds on longer. Below, the adventurers plan to charge out and reduce the beasts. Seeing Manuel's group risk it, Nina is worried. Luckily, Huss uses money to rally others, easing the flame god's burden. X is surprised she can be useful sometimes. Now, everything's per the branch chief's plan, except him being the energy source for the dragon. So, they must stop it before it's too late. If they run now, they'll live longer, but letting the dragon rampage will doom the world. Nina is told by Men to stay and guard Hanum, as the sleeping princess, appearing too early, risks her being targeted first. The battle starts soon after. Amir casts spells to draw attention. The dragon obliges. The branch chief creates countless trees to trap them. Already struggling, he finds it boring. Seizing the moment, Laos coordinates with his team. Men is launched at Mr. Miss, but Men is unlucky, pierced by the dragon's skill, and falls, fate unknown. His team is shocked, but no one can help. H knows Nina can't take more, so he urges her to go. Hesitating could lead to regret. Ronaldo and C clear a path for the healer to tend Men. Nina rushes, but sees her brother covered in blood. She's devastated and collapses. Men's state is like an Mars. Her magic is gone, so the barrier is failing. At this rate, all will die, so Nina wants to sacrifice herself to save everyone. His teacher knows it's rash, as the dragon will kill her, but it's the best way to save the world. Ronaldo says the sleeping princess's power isn't that great, at most lulling the dragon for 10 years. Nina thinks 10 years is short, but enough to save those here. She believes, in that time, Men will find a true hero to slay the dragon. Her death is worth it. Men is conscious and hears this. The dragon, seeing the sleeping princess, is drawn to her. Nina taunts it to eat her. From ancient times it's attracted to the chosen one's flesh, unable to resist. But Men hasn't agreed. His power erupts, turning demonic, terrifying all. From the dragon's view, he's no longer human. Mr. Miss calls it divine or greater power. The branch chief regains some awareness, warning the dragon. This isn't something it can touch. In a flash, Men charges and pummels him, losing control. At this rate, Mr. Miss will die, so Nina stops him. Ronaldo knows this state and fears Men won't return to human form. As he goes for the finishing blow, his dear sister intervenes. Luckily, Laos regains control and stops. She calls his name, saying she's here, calming him. After being pummeled, the dragon can't leave. Hom tells Men to end it. The branch chief's spirit wants the same, urging him not to hesitate, as he's caused enough suffering and has lived many lives with no regrets. Hearing this, Men accepts and, with Nina's hand, repels the dragon. With the branch chief holding it, their task succeeds. Losing its negative energy source, the dragon can't return and must wait another 200 years. Regaining his body, the branch chief is satisfied, praising them. Finally, he has someone to take responsibility for the town. The magic flow is cut, so the dungeon riot ends. The beasts feel fear and scatter. Hanum bids farewell, saying he saw him as a father, amusing the old man, as at his age, Hanum isn't even a grandson. Finally, Mr. Miss passes peacefully. Ronaldo rushes to save his love, as more barrier absorption will kill her. Asking if she's okay, she thinks he did something reckless again. He laughs, saying he's always been that way, vowing to protect her with his life, so this is nothing. News of the dragon reaches the capital. His death is a loss. They wonder if Men could replace the hero with his supreme power. As things stabilize, Huss is surprisingly appointed branch chief by Hanum. In his next life, he wants to support from behind, as she's knowledgeable and virtuous. He's not a leader, so it's fitting. At first she's hesitant, but hearing the salary she agrees quickly. She'll work hard to rebuild the town. That night, Sai asks his master if he knows Laos's state. Ronaldo doesn't, saying it's beyond control. The rest, let the capital handle. Lyra thinks from now on, they won't team with men anymore. Outside, Laos knows though they repelled the dragon, it'll awaken someday. So, he wants to find the hero now to ensure the future. Of course, he wants Nina with him. Hearing this, she's thrilled. Turns out, this is what men wanted to say, though a bit different, he still needs her. She agrees, as she won't join any other team. A few days later, the pair prepares for their new adventure. The Inn family packs food for the road. Though a bit sad, as it's Laos's decision, his team supports. From now, they'll walk new paths. Sai believes if they stay adventurers, they'll meet again somewhere. Until then, the two masters bid farewell to their proud, foolish disciple, Men. Looking back at the town, as it's been home for years,